The next major PS5 system software update has just been released. This would be the March 2023 firmware, and like always, there's a fair amount of new changes, features, improvements, and quality of life updates to go over. Variable refresh rate is now supported for 1440p resolution. At the same time, Sony's also adjusted the parameters of 1440p support so that it includes more compatible displays. Head to the screen and video settings to test 1440p output to see if your display is now supported, and from there you can enable VRR. Discord functionality has now been expanded. Previously you could only display what PS4 or PS5 game you were playing to your Discord friends, but now you can transfer calls to your PS5. You'll have to relink your Discord account again to accept new permissions, but after you've successfully linked your account, you can transfer calls over to your console via PC or mobile. During a call, you'll see a new option that says Transfer to PlayStation. Then pick your console, which shows the nickname you've given it, and select Transfer Voice. On PS5, you'll now see a Discord voice chat card appear that has your usual controls. You can adjust the balance for chat and game audio, you can mute all, or you can quickly access expanded voice chat settings. You can also mute individual call members or adjust their audio levels. At the top, you can also designate if you want to hear the Discord call or any in-game voice chat that you might be a part of while playing a game. There's new voice commands available for capturing gameplay. You can say, "Hey PlayStation, capture that," and it will save a video of your gameplay. The length of the clip is what you set in the capture and broadcast settings. You could also say the exact amount you want to capture. "Hey PlayStation, capture the last 5 minutes." You can also do manual or controlled recordings. "Hey PlayStation, start recording." "Hey PlayStation, stop recording." GameHub pages have been redesigned again. You'll now see new modules on the far right which shows your total progress and total playtime. Game progress may not always appear, these seem to be tied directly to main mission story cards and are not entirely representative of overall completion. Playtime is self-explanatory, but there's been reports for a while that this tracking isn't accurate. In my experience, it's accurate initially, but at some point tapers off with double-digit hours. We're still not exactly sure on when the clock is running because that's where it can get misleading if it tracks or not during the control center or suspended status. Anyway, trophies now appear as a module underneath the activity and play game buttons with a percentage, progress bar, trophy grades, and total trophies breakdown. Next to that is a Friends Who Play module. Selecting this will show you all your friends who have launched that software. In GameBase, you can now access the share screen feature from someone's profile right inside GameBase. You can share your screen or request theirs from here. From the voice chat card, there's now a joinable game option that appears for party members that are playing something you can join immediately. When playing a multiplayer game with cross-play functionality, you can now see all players from the game session card. Friends that are using the PlayStation mobile app now appear as online on your friends list. In your game library, there's now VR filters to separate PSVR and PSVR 2 games. VR modes also apply to these filters. You can now hit options on a game list to change the default sort order of that list. And when you're adding games, you can access sort and filter options. Under Save Data and Game App Settings, there's a new Online Multiplayer Sessions option for game presets. Here you can set your preferences for who can join, who can invite, for multiplayer sessions you create. Like the other game preset settings, this has to be supported by the games you play, so this may not always auto-select for you. PS5 will now make courtesy checks for save data in the cloud if you don't have any saved to console storage. So for example, you launch a PS4 game and you have save data on PS Plus cloud storage, but not on PS5's local storage. A notification will make you aware of this, and from there you can expand the notification and grab your save file. This also applies to PS5 games that are able to read and import PS4 save files. The data transfer process now also supports PS5 to PS5 consoles. The same options from a PS4 to PS5 migration apply. You can do this over a local Wi-Fi connection or a LAN cable connected between consoles. PS5 no longer makes a distinction between downloaded or disk-installed games. Previously, you may have noticed this when trying to play one with the other installed. You would get this prompt telling you that you would need to delete and switch. That's no longer the case. So if you say have the disc version of a game installed, but then you decide to buy it digitally, or even claim it via PS Plus, you can just keep playing the installed version. In the media gallery, you can now manually upload previously captured screenshots or videos by hitting options. And the same limitations for auto uploads apply here as well. Videos must be non-4K and under 3 minutes. When typing with the on-screen keyboard, the R1 prompt no longer inputs the first highlighted option. Now it brings the cursor into the row of suggestions, allowing you to pick which one you want. You can also hit options on any suggestion that you want to completely remove. For Japanese keyboards, suggestions will now show their full width and half width kana. There's also Unicode 15 support for emojis as well. There's more improvements to the screen reader function. It will now give a more detailed explanation of where you are on the console and where you can move.
Horizontal list 5 of 14. L1 button or R1 button switch homes. Options button. Options. For more content, press the down button.
And when using the web browser, you'll see borders around the area that is being read aloud.
For parents and guardians. Button. Get ready to play.
DualSense controllers can now be updated wirelessly. Hallelujah. In settings, you can now view authorized applications that you've linked your PSN account to. Now, before we wrap up, there's two things I want to address on the changelog that I think is a little bit questionable. The first one is competitive multiplayer cards can be displayed full screen. By selecting Start Activity, you'll be taken straight to that match, and the prominent placement and size of that card makes it an easy option for multiplayer. So I'm pretty sure what they're talking about here is how game hubs can use the card system now to where it displays the developer-supplied image for the full screen, and it says resume or start activity next to the play game button, which that acts as a cold boot. As far as I know, that could have always been a multiplayer card, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not for all games, so I don't know, but that has been there as far as I'm aware. And then the other item on the changelog is the hint system has been expanded to display a list of objectives if the game provides them. Select any objective to see a more detailed video or text hint. Now this, I think they're talking about how cards are consolidated on the control center to where it's, one card for single player or multiplayer activities, and that is where all the real cards are. But at that point, it's something where it's a bit weird, because if a developer, supports Game Help, then the single player activities card, it's just relabeled to Game Help, but it's serving the same exact thing, right? So I think that's what they're talking about for that, but that's also been there anyway, so I'm not sure if that's really considered new per se. But this is something where, as always, Sony does try and hide a few things in there that are not on the changelog, so if I'm missing something, then by all means, let me know, send it over on Twitter, write it down below here on YouTube, but that's pretty much it. So thank you so much for watching, hope you found this useful, and if you haven't just yet, please consider subscribing for the best PlayStation news, reviews, and updates that are here on YouTube, and I will see you all in the next one. You take it easy.